Previously on Gears.
Bye. All right, so
Sasha, how's it going?
Jade, very well, and yourself, man. Long time no chat.
Yeah, it has been a while, man. It's good to hear from you again.
Yeah, it's good to speak to you as well. I mean, for those who, this is the first time you're being on Gears on Balls Visual Radio. Jade, you must be the most accomplished motor racing person in South Africa. Is there any discipline you haven't raced?
Yeah, I suppose I haven't raced production cars yet, which is something I'd really love to do. But yeah, just having fun. You know, I've retired from motorbikes and opened a bicycle shop and just doing a whole lot of different things with my life. My West Bank's still in the garage at home waiting for the right day to pull it out. And my dad's obviously built himself a circuit so that he can play with his own toys. And it's nice that we have these events that are coming up now, you know, and we're able to drive the cars that we build and have a passion for.
That's for sure. Now, before we get on to this Magic Desi circuit, I just want to go back. I mean, you basically cut your teeth on motorbikes, doing all of the kind of enduros across the whole of Africa, roof of Africa, etc., etc. And now you've decided maybe, you know, time to pack it in. Is, you know, if you fall off nowadays, Jade, it's going to hurt a little bit more than 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah, it was a little bit of that, but more, like you say, I mean, I've done it 16 years, you know, so I said to myself, you know, if I ever had to start, or if I was ever racing just for the money or just because I got paid to do it, I was going to stop. And near the end, it sort of got to that way, you know. I was battling with the motivation to get back on the bike and actually train, and all the kids these days not working, just racing every day. It became harder to just win on racing talent alone. You know, you had to really train hard for it. So,
yeah,
you know, I made the decision, and I said last year, if I win the national championship, I'm going to retire. And so I stuck with that, and I was lucky enough to win. Yeah, so I put the motorbikes to rest. But I'm importing a brand called Sherco now, and it's a French enduro brand. So I sponsor my brother. He's on my team, and I'm still in the motorbike industry as such, just sitting on the other side of the fence.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's great to know. Well, listen, it also giving you expertise to the younger guys coming through, and hopefully, you know, create more champions like you in the future.
Yeah, exactly. My brother's 18 now, so he's, you know, learning the ropes, and yeah, definitely next year we'll be building the team and making the team bigger, and we've got some good sponsors, so slowly build the brand and, you know, get another strong enduro brand into the South African market. That's what we need.
It sounds great. Now, Jade, just tell us about, I mean, your dad's also a petrol head like you are. It all seems to run in the family. And he just decided, or was it a family decision that he said, well, listen, you know, here in KZN, there's nothing for us to actually race on, so let's just build our own circuit at home. How did this come about?
Yeah, exactly. You know, for many years, you know, we started racing. We were at West Banks on and off in 2006, and we were always sort of saying, you know, we never get to practice. So you get to a track and you're green because you haven't ridden the car for 6 weeks, and it's, you know, so it took years and years of persuading with my mother, you know, the boss of the house, to tell her that we're building a circuit surrounding her house. But eventually, when my dad got past that little hump, he got onto it, and yeah, he's a big petrol head, like you say, and he's got a lot of enthusiasm in building cars and tinkering all day and making 1,000 horsepower track weapons. So it's nice for him that he's able to drive right out of the garage and onto the circuit and test what he builds, you know, and now it can be used not only for his own use, and we can do track days and time attack days like we had on the weekend.
Well, that was it. I mean, over this past weekend, you guys sort of, unfortunately this year, the hill climb was cancelled, and did you guys sort of just jump in and say, well, listen, let's put our own event in for those people who were going to do the hill climb?
Exactly, yeah. I mean, you know, it was at a last minute when the NASMA guys lost their sponsorship, I think it was, and so they had to cancel the event. So everybody had booked their plane tickets and their weekend away from the family, and the cars were all good to go. So my dad said, well, hey, let's just do a Desi time attack day and substitute the weekend. And we sort of put it together over the last 6 or 7 weeks, and my dad rushed to get the circuit finished, build the pits and the toilets and control tower and everything else. And yeah, it went off so smoothly. I was blown away. I was really impressed with the way they my dad handled it, being his first time on a sort of a major event like this. And Ian from the Northern Hill Climb came around, and he was sort of there for the weekend just to watch and see what happened. And him and the clerk of the course, Wally Pappas, everybody was really impressed, and the drivers as well. Everybody loved the event, and it was a huge success. It was so nice to have not only sort of 1,000 horsepower track monsters there, but we had McLarens there, we had the 458s, we had SLSs, we had it's sort of all the strong road cars that you get. Not just purpose-built racing cars with roll cages. Porsches were there, and it was nice for the public to see that guys in normal cars can also compete against the modified cars.
Well, I tell you, I mean, everything that I've heard over the weekend has just been exemplary. And I suppose this now leads us on to something. I mean, this is a private circuit, Jade, and it's used for certain kind of events. But by the look of it, and from the sort of the information that I've been getting from people, it is a really, really stunning circuit. Is it something that you guys or your dad would consider maybe putting onto the national calendar?
Well, it's definitely sort of been in the thought train, but it originally started as a landing strip, a grass landing strip for his aircraft, and then we tarred that, and we made a couple of corners and a couple of bends. So at the moment, it lends itself more to single car on the track, sort of time attack style racing, because there's certain pieces where you sort of go back up and down, to get more length out of it, to get the 3.5 Ks that we did. But yeah, look, I mean, now that my mother sees that it's not as bad as she originally thought it was, and might give the go ahead to, we just basically need to put one or two more little sections and to link the whole lot up and make it a sort of a national type, a proper national type circuit where you can go round and round and round 10 cars next to each other. But obviously with that comes building sort of national status runoff, and then there's marshals and all sorts of other sort of areas that have to be in the boxes that have to be ticked for the track to be passed as a national circuit. And so there's definitely a lot of work to get to before we get to that type of thing. But for time attacks and club days, BMW days, Porsche days, and just private events, like corporate events, guys want to come around and drive, and have a bit of fun on a corporate day, big companies. That's what it's sort of there for, So we can also recuperate a little bit of the cost that have got that's incurred building the circuit.
No, I can well imagine. I think also what is really, really terrific is, I mean, Durban or KZN has been starved of any kind of circuit for so long. At least even if it's in a private capacity and you can rent it out and do, as you say, track days for Porsche, Lamborghini, Ferrari, Maserati, whatever it is, there is a facility now, and I think that there must be people chewing on the bit to get on the track all the time.
Exactly. I mean, guys buy Ferraris and Maseratis and Porsches, like you say, Lamborghinis, and they actually have no idea what those cars can do and what they're designed to do. A lot of people think that you buy a Porsche or a Ferrari or whatever it may be, and you have to cruise down to the news cafe on a Saturday morning and let everybody look at it. And if they only knew that the cars are designed to do 300 k's an hour and go around the corner at mind-blowing paces, it would be so cool, and this would give those guys the opportunity. And the circuit's open to anybody who wants to phone and say, we'd like to book it up for a day, come around, a couple guys, bring some I won't say beers, but some bra equipment and the family, and 10 guys can come together with their cars and just have fun. And it's nice to know that you can go around the corner not having to worry about a cop sitting in the bush with a speed camera trying to bust you, and you're not going to run into another car coming the other way. So that's really cool.
Brilliant stuff, Jade. Well, listen, I think it's really terrific what you and your family are doing down there, and hopefully it goes from better to better, and hopefully you get the likes of Motorsport South Africa getting involved and maybe coming in, chipping in, and turning it into a national circuit for everybody to enjoy. I think especially the people in KZN. But what you're doing at the moment, I think, is really, really opening up the doors for many, many others, and you guys must be commended for at least opening it up to the public as opposed to just keeping it to yourselves.
No, 100%. It's all about sharing it with the motorsport fraternity of Natal. Like you say, the guys have been starved, especially here in Natal, and years and years and years, guys have been threatening to build stuff or at least try and build a circuit, and the cops are always chasing us off the roads when we're doing illegal drag racing at night. So it was about time, and it's nice that people can at least have a bit of fun on the track now in Natal. They don't have to drive 6 hours up to Joburg.
There we go. It's brilliant. Jade, it's great to speak to you. I really hope to speak to you again very, very soon. And congrats to you and your dad and everybody involved on really bringing motorsport alive in KZN. It's awesome.
Thank you very much. Thanks for the call, Sasha. I appreciate it.
All right. Cheers. There we go. Jade Gutzeit with a purpose-built track. Doesn't that sound like fun?
Sounds insane.
I got to go there. Got to go and race some bikes or cars or something about that as well.
At the next intersection, turn on
Gears with Sasha Martinengo.
weekdays from 12 to 2 p.m. Central African Time.